Welcome back to this video series on mastering your morning routine. In the last video, we talked about the importance of paying yourself first, giving your most productive energy every day to the things that matter most to you. This video is called 5 before 8, the 5 components to a killer morning routine that you can do every day before 8 a.m. You ready? Number 1, wake yourself up early. Notice what I said. Wake yourself up. I didn't say when you wake up or after you wake up. I said wake yourself up. One of the great secrets to success is to realize that you are in control of your mind, body, and emotions. If you wait around every day until your body feels like waking up to start being productive, you're letting your body rule over you. But you don't have to wait for your body. Rule your body. Rule your feelings. Rule your mind. Your morning routine needs to start with things that can wake you up and get you going. I don't know anyone who feels like changing the world when they roll out of bed, but some people know how to make themselves feel up for the challenge. And those are the people who are changing the world. So what would it take to wake you up every day? It's going to be different for every person. Some people take cold showers, some go on a brisk run, some use coffee, some even put their feet in a bucket of ice water. For me, I use light therapy. I spend 5 minutes every morning in bright ultraviolet rays, and then I drink a protein shake with an energy supplement. And that does the trick for me, but you've got to figure out what works for you. You can find a world of ideas online, I'm sure. But here's the key, it's got to be early. I know some people say that different people function better at different times, and I don't doubt that that's true, but that's not really what's important. What's important is the amount of distractions. And every other time of the day is full of opportunities for distractions, and often important distractions. I mean, kids that need you, job situations that blow up, unexpected traffic situations, phone calls, distractions. But while the rest of the people in your time zone are sleeping, the distractions lessen and you have the opportunity to pursue the things most important to you. Almost every single successful person out there gets up early, and I don't think you can get around that. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Thank you, Benjamin Franklin. So the first component of your morning routine is to wake yourself up early. And the second thing is this. Glimpse the big picture. One pastor talks about how vision leaks. That inspiring picture of the future, it tends to fade out of view if we don't keep it in front of us. And it's amazing how fast it does. And when vision leaves, our lives get miserable very fast. I mean, everything we do becomes mundane, no passion, no energy. But vision inspires us and connects our daily work with a greater purpose. The Bible says, write down the vision and make it plain that he who runs may see it. Taking time to glimpse the big picture every day will keep you running toward your goals and dreams. There are many ways to do this, and you, of course, can get very creative with your own ideas, but I'll give you 3 that we use here in the Wilder family. First, we have vision boards. Eileen, me, and the 2 older kids, we've taken that vision of the future that we talked about in January's goal setting workshop, and we converted it into actual pictures and phrases that paint a picture of that future vision. For a while, we had some of those images even framed and hung in our bedroom so that we saw them every morning while waking up. We take time each day just to look at those images and to imagine those visions becoming reality. I mean, just to experience them in our minds a bit. It's a powerful exercise and extremely motivating, and it reminds us what the big picture is so that we don't get lost in tasks. Second, we review our goals. Those goals we created in January, remember those? And how we said not to just tuck them away in a drawer somewhere? Well, we need to look at them, and we need to look at them every day. Just by reviewing them and thinking about them each morning, we keep them in the forefront of our mind, and that helps us to stay aware of the next steps that we need to take. It also keeps us conscious of the opportunities that may present themselves during the day to move forward. And finally, I have something a little different that I like to do. It's what I call a day in my life. It's an audio recording of me describing a typical weekday in my ideal life. It describes what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, how I'm interacting with my family, and it's crammed full of lots of vision for my life and promises from God. It's about 8 minutes long, and I start it while I'm in the light therapy session. And so if you're curious about learning more about a day of my life and audio stuff, just shoot me an email and I'll try to send you a copy. The important thing is that after you wake yourself up, that you have a way to get connected with the big picture, the vision that you have for your life. Then it's time for number 3, and that's sharpen the saw. This is your time for becoming a better you. There are a lot of people who focus all day long on doing, which is admirable, but when you only do, you'll only be able to produce the same results you always have unless you learn something new and improve yourself. Stephen Covey calls this sharpening the saw. You can spend all day trying to cut down a tree with a dull blade, or you can spend a little time sharpening the saw, and then you'll cut down the tree with ease and much less time. So it's essential for moving forward with your goals and dreams that you not just do stuff. Don't keep sawing away with a dull blade, but also improve yourself. Sharpen the saw. Covey breaks this down into 4 major areas. Your physical body. You get more fit and stronger so you can do more. Your spirit. This is where you make room for God to transform you and your thinking. Your mind. And this is where you'll learn something new. You'll read a book or take a class. And finally, recreation. And that's for getting your mind off of things and resetting your subconscious mind. You can alternate through them, or you can do a little of each every day. And of course, you can also combine them. I used to take a walk while praying and worshiping. But some people like to read while using the treadmill. So whatever you come up with, after you wake yourself up and you glimpse the big picture, make sure you spend some time sharpening the saw. It's the only way to get better long-term results. And the 4th thing is this: think. Again, it's amazing how capable we are of just doing, when sometimes what we really need is just some old-fashioned thinking. We need to think about what we're doing. You'll be surprised if you just allow a little space for creative thinking, what your mind will come up with. A friend and I used to be responsible for setting up all the instruments at our church before the service. It was a set up and tear down situation, and every Sunday morning we would go to the rehearsal studio. We'd lug all the sound equipment down 3 flights of stairs, load it into a van, and bring it to church. And when I was first married, Eileen saw me waking up so early every Sunday to do this, and she saw how much physical energy it was taking to do this before an already long Sunday service. And one day she said, "Hey, why don't you guys just keep an extra set of equipment in the van?" You know, we had been doing the same thing for so long, it never occurred to us that there might be an easier way to do it. But a little thinking, and we ended up saving a lot of time and our backs. So think about what you're doing. Don't just keep doing. John Maxwell recommends that we all set aside time each day for thinking. Think about each of your goals. Think about how you can achieve them. Write down the ideas that come to you and keep developing them until they become actionable. You can also use this time to develop a conviction about the next steps that you really need to take. I mean, I like to ask myself when I'm thinking, what can I do today to move these goals forward? So wake yourself up, glimpse the big picture, sharpen the saw, and spend some time thinking, and then you're ready for number 5, which is to do it now. Here's the real key to achieving your goals. You got to do at least one thing every day to move your goal ahead. You schedule that appointment, write the next chapter, draft the email, tweak the process. Just do something and do it before 8 a.m. Everyone else will just be going to work, and you will have already finished your most important task of the day. By the way, you may have noticed that I never told you what time is early. Well, that was intentional. It's going to vary for each person, and it's going to vary for the type of work that you need to do toward your goals. When I was finishing my manuscript, it meant waking up before 4 a.m. so I could have a good 2 hours to write before any children started waking up. But now it's much later. So you work backwards from 8 a.m. and plan your morning. Wake up whenever you need to in order to accomplish all 5 components before 8 a.m. So that's it. 5 before 8. and you'll see yourself moving forward every day toward your dreams and goals. And in the next video, we'll go over some important do's and don'ts, and we're going to review some quick action items to get you started.